I thought it would be fun to highlight all the good stuff in this game that many of us maybe take for granted, or maybe not even have reflected upon. And of course, also the bad sides that frequently gets the most attention.
EVE Online, more like EVE Offline with all server problems.
So in hope of nicking a few more views, I will bring those up as well. This is the video that you should share with your friends and people who do not know what this game is, or to those who claim this is a bad game, as I am confident that the players will have a better understanding what EVE Echoes is and why it is the way it is after watching this one. Boys and girls, man and woman, maybe you already played this game today. Maybe you did play it and you quit. This video might be just a final nudge for those naysayers to give it a chance. And if you want more in-depth information about the game, what to do and how to progress, then subscribe to me and check my over 400 videos regarding this game. And do not forget to like. Okay, that's all the shine that I get. I will not bring that up again in this video. It would not be fair to not mention that EVE Echoes is a mobile game. It is meant to be played on the phones or on the tablets. And in this day and age, of course, emulators is a thing that we play on as well. And even if some mobile games are remarkably well made, we still can't compare this to PC or console games. So let's analyze and compare EVE Echoes with other mobile games mainly. But I can't guarantee that I will not include a few PC games anyway. We all know that the general feeling by people who don't play mobile games is that mobile games are crap. They can't possibly compare to PC or console games. And while that is true, there will come a time in the future where mobile games are indistinguishable from any other platform. Maybe even better. And EVE Echoes should have been the transition that we needed. The missing link. The future of mobile gaming. But NetEase didn't see it that way. And with our shallow vision, it took 3 years for the game to finally activate its micro-warp drive and head towards the right star. This is EVE Echoes. Like any good story, I want to start from the beginning. Together with Congregate and Playraven, CCP started the Project Aurora. This was, in every sense, a mobile game.
We use the word kind of political sandbox a lot, and that's really what we're providing. We want to provide a tool set of abilities that players can get to their goals however they want to. So, for example, if you're going to get resources, you can go out there, you can take them yourself, you can invest into mining. If you don't want to do that, you can build up your fleets and take them from someone else's mining crew, or you can start kind of having a dialogue with people and exchanging resources for potentially services that you're providing. So really, in terms of how a player can get to the goals, what we want to do is create a sandbox where the sky's the limit for how players want to do that.
This would be a free-to-play MMO and task players with working together to create the most powerful corporation and dominating the center of the galaxy. This was a different game. This was not EVE Online Mobile. But it was good enough at the time. I mean, it was a mobile game. Players was okay with it. But we really wanted EVE Online playable on our mobile. And not only that, but EVE Online with a fresh new start. Because EVE Online had been out for 16 years. It is always hard to get new players into a game of that age. The most obvious reason is time. It takes time to catch up. But Project Aurora got cancelled, and after a few silent months later, then come NetEase. Together with CCP, they developed a different game. A game more like EVE Online.
I'm very excited to see what millions of mobile players will bring to the EVE universe.
We at CCP have made it a part of our DNA to build games with the help of our community, and we intend to do the same for EVE Echoes.
希望 EVE 手游能够将 EVE 的品牌和 EVE 的精神传递给更多的玩家，希望更多的玩家能够体验到 EVE 的乐趣。
EVE Online is one of the greatest games ever made on PC. Recreating the EVE Online experience on mobile was such a dream come true.
这产品是我们努力的结果，我们希望就是这款游戏能够带给玩家更好的体验。
I'm sure we'll see some new adventures being formed, new social structures, new paradigms, which will inspire us just like EVE PC has done, to take EVE Echoes, EVE PC and all the EVE games even further than we could have ever imagined.
New adventures, new social structures, new paradigms to take EVE Echoes further than we ever imagined, and sure they did. EVE Echoes is different, and this scares some EVE Online players off. But let's look at what EVE Echoes really is, compared to its counterparts. I want to start strong here, so let's compare Space Game's graphics on mobile. Infinite Lagrange is ranked pretty high and players generally like this game. If we look at the general mobile space gamers, it's an MMORPG 4X game that it's quite different from EVE Echoes, but it is very common amongst most space games. This is definitely not the most action-filled game, but I want to show the generic graphic and the feel for this one. We have all seen this type of mobile games before. It's nothing special or different than most of the space games today on mobile. Compare this to EVE Echoes. Another game we can look at is Ark of War. This is similar to Lagrange, but it lacks some key features that makes, for example, Infinite Lagrange stand out. Ark of War is what I would call the typical mobile space fleet game. Level up your station, or in this case, your Ark. Build ships in different sizes and conquer space. And just to mention here, all these games are heavy in the monetization and even far superior to EVE Echoes, but we will get to this later. We also have Stellaris Galaxy Command. This is the typical 4X game converted to mobile. It's a good choice if you want to play a game as a commander and through orders move your fleets to take over space. It's a good game nonetheless, but I'm still talking graphics. There are several more games like this. Space Jet, a dogfight shooter game. Nova Empire, a space strategy game. 80 Star, another space strategy game. Infinite Galaxy. And just like the others, it's a space strategy game. Size and graphics and multiplayer goes hand in hand, and it's not easy to get it all. If we want better graphics on mobile games, then we must look elsewhere. Galaxy on Fire 1 or 2 is a good choice.
Control has been hit. Take care of those stealth fighters.
You manage your ship in third person and can buy and sell, upgrade and mine and hunt pirates. It's of course a single player game. We also got the space shooters out there with the beautiful colors and captivating attacks. They all cater to different playstyles. Creating a game like EVE Echoes is not easy, and even if there is some big names out there, Second Galaxy for example, there is no one that even comes close to EVE's graphics. Not even single player games like Galaxy on Fire. EVE Echoes is an MMORPG experience, and hands down, it's the best looking mobile game out there to date. This game had a rocky start, to say the least. Not only technical challenges and issues, but also problems due to a small development crew.
心血，包括像我们的上线前期呢，也是外放了接近10000次的一个说明预告，包括呢也是对于你看地域产出啊，还有基于这些方面都进行了调整。但是整个的这个调整周期应该是不短啊，所以呢在这里呢，本着人道主义关怀，想问一下啊，这段时间过得快乐吗？
你看我快乐吗？
我觉得你挺快乐的。
我们挺快乐。
我觉得可能最大的快乐吧，是每天其他同事看着我一脸就这种表情，然后再改装备、改表、改产出，就这么一种表情，改到12点的时候，他们挺快乐的。
一人之的悲喜并不相同。
确实，我感觉我在 Discord 频道看玩家讨论我们几点了还在工作的时候，我感觉玩家在屏幕后面都特别开心，
都在笑。
对。
And lack of understanding what the players want. And last but not least, lack of support. Daily black screens, hourly disconnections, forced Eve Echoes to come up with small adjustments to try and fix these issues. But this was only the beginning to a long road of problems. And these problems is what started Eve Echoes' waves of trolls, hate, and in some cases frustration and anger.
Playing EVE Echo is just like riding a bicycle, and with new updates, thieves just removed the twin wheel, except they forgot to put the handle on the back and the brakes too. We will put the handle back, and we will make a better back for you. Sorry, guys.
Early in Eve Echoes, there were no insurance, and the disconnections and black screens basically forced developers to reimburse players' losses. A primitive type of reclaim your lost ship ticket was implemented, seeding the forgiving mentality of an otherwise harsh game environment. And after a few months with this, players was less keen to lose their ships, without being reimbursed.
我们今年定义的解决玩家体验、解决玩家整个这种生活环境的这一块影响上，然后希望能给玩家带来更好的体验。在整个开发过程中，因为一系列问题造成的损失或者造成玩家体验上的不佳，我表示歉意。
Then we get the insurance system. This was not the correct way, and I will bring this up later. In a perfect world, and what normally occurs when a game is released, is that issues are dealt with. Updates after updates, slowly patching up a game so that it can actually start adding expansions for players to enjoy. Eve Echoes is still patching. And still patching after 3 years. And it's not that the game was so damaged that this patching takes too long. The reason is because something else. The reason is because NetEase keeps adding new stuff. Not big fancy expansions, but small add-ons to please the players, to please the company.
For our quality of life updates, we will try to introduce the hanger container.
This didn't happen. Let's just say that they have a different understanding on what pleases players in the long run. But one thing they do understand, what I'm referring to is making sure that we like our ships. Nanocores that personalize your ships with both abilities and colors, and implants that makes us grind long term to boost our character, making us attached to every part of the game. Operation add-ons so that we can find each other and enjoy the game together. I've said this before, but Eve Echo spaceships, thanks to the nanocores, made our spaceships here even more beautiful than EVE Online. The spaceships are stunning. EVE Echoes not only did improve EVE Online's eye candy, they have adjusted the gameplay and made the changes needed for a mobile game. With autopilot functions when offline, auto-attacking the next target in both fighting and mining, skill training where you save your skill points even if your skill queue ended, easier maneuverability, and overall a faster gameplay. More fast-paced, just like the development. Because EVE Echoes started fresh from the beginning, it could borrow ideas from EVE Online to grow faster. In 3 years, we already have the faction capitals, and even if we're getting new ships now and then from EVE Online, some ships are in EVE Echoes only.
In the year YC-122, a mysterious girl known only as You arrived in New Eden. And over the course of 6 months, she raised a fleet of her own named Yanzheng. Legend has it, You is a distant descendant of Yanzheng, a lost ancient civilization that possessed advanced quantum knowledge and force field generation.
EVE Echoes is its own game, and for any space lover out there, EVE Echoes is worth checking out. I would not say that EVE Echoes is more for casual players than EVE Online. Both games handle both hardcore and casuals their own way. EVE Online does, on the other hand, take a lot more time compared to EVE Echoes. EVE Echoes, since the beginning, claimed to be player-driven. That ships were built by players, just like EVE Online was, until they started hanging out ships in the wallet packs, with EVE Echoes being on the mobile. The difference in games made it not too unusual that NetEase would implement a pay-and-you-shall-receive concept. The market and industry felt the biggest problems quite early in the game. This due to the insurance. The way to create a faster gameplay on mobile at the same time crippled the very thing that made EVE unique. EVE Online thrived in the wisdom that every ship was built by a player, every moment is special for every pilot, and every action has a consequence. EVE Echoes, with its casual and maybe older gamers who cannot put all hours of their life into PC anymore, players who turn to mobile games due to accessibility, faster gameplay, and the ability to play a few minutes or an hour anywhere, finally got EVE Echoes, a space game similar to EVE Online.
EVE Online is one of the greatest games ever made on PC. Recreating the EVE Online experience on mobile was such a dream come true.
Now, as mobile gamers know, mobile games are simple and usually made to play while taking a crap. But EVE Echoes was nothing like that. EVE Echoes got unlimited content, no stamina system, and no battle power system. EVE Echoes is a mobile MMORPG in the universe of EVE Online, where the possibility for great changes and a very different experience than its bigger brother EVE Online. But there was another problem. The lack of English-speaking support started giving this game another bad reputation. The same with developers not listening to the player base at all.
玩家可能也在 Discord 中也能感觉到，好像我们的开发团队人员和玩家沟通的变少了。其实我们沟通并没有变少，依然还是关注了 Discord， 但是我们同时要兼顾的事情实在太多，所以可能会让大家产生错觉，就是我们在 Discord 上说话变少了。
If the insurance in the game killed the industry, then the developers' lack of sympathy for the player base killed the trust.
I also hate that throughout the AMA there were multiple answers that were straight lines, wrong answers, incomplete answers, not answered at all. Stop doing AMAs if you don't even know what you are doing any more than we do.
This has been the first 3 years of EVE Echoes, and finally, we see some kind of change in their behavior. EVE Echoes is an ambitious project that almost was too big to even put time into. And it still is, but it is a game that got into the mobile game a bit too late. EVE Echoes got released by the time when most mobile games were starting to excel the wallet transaction to even be able to play games. And EVE Echoes is no different. Even if EVE Echoes ain't as pay to win as most mobile games, it is still not free to play. You need to pay a monthly subscription to have access to even some fundamental and needed functions to even enjoy the game. Compared to my channel where a subscription is free, okay, I see myself out. You can try this game as alpha for a week or so, but after that, unfortunately, you have to pay to progress. In EVE Echoes, just like EVE Online, you can't buy success, but you can buy bigger and better ships with real money. But you can do that in many games, even PC ones, even EVE Online. But the ships that you buy can be lost by less expensive or smaller ships, especially if you meet more than one. And even if EVE Echoes have some amazing solo PvPers, this game is made to fly with others, and no money in the world will save you from a fleet of casual pilots, no matter how hardcore you are. So personal skills and piloting your ship matters. Knowing when to fight and when to try and leave. It's crucial to keep your risk. The PvP here is hardcore, and welcome to EVE Echoes.
Thanks for you to keep playing EVE Echoes, and hope we can be better in next year.
I am Achieved, and I see you guys again.
Have you been on the internet again? It costs a lot of money.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. He's dying, man. Keep nuking the first one. I can tank this. This is no problem at all.